Hi there, thank you for tuning in. Today I'm going to talk about the best home improvements to increase your home's value. Welcome everyone and thank you for tuning into another episode of Streu TV. I'm Dwight Streu, the Dwight Streu Real Estate Team. Streu TV is your best resource of real estate information, tips, and tricks for home sellers and buyers. Now, probably the best return you're going to get on renovating is on the kitchen. The kitchen, after all, is the hub of the home, and a modern kitchen is usually more functional as well as more aesthetically pleasing. Now, a kitchen remodel could be anything from some paint and counters to a complete redo with new cabinets, lighting, flooring, and so on. So the cost can start as low as a few $1,000s and go as high as $100,000 or more. When you're planning your renovation, consider how long you plan to stay in your home, because you may not get back all of your investment, particularly if you're spending a considerable amount of money. Now, be sure not to go overboard. Keep the quality and the cost in line with the rest of the house and the neighborhood. And if you're working with a tight budget, consider refacing the cabinets instead of replacing them. And of course, paint is inexpensive and can make a big difference. Make sure to budget for new appliances if yours are dated. And the last thing you want to do is put old appliances into a new kitchen. Now, if you are planning on spending a considerable amount of money on your renovation, it would probably pay to get some expert advice from, let's say, a kitchen designer. Professionals are usually well worth the cost. And the last thing you want to do is spend a bunch of money on a kitchen and have it not turn out to your liking. Now, bathrooms are also a big draw. And modernizing your bathroom with new vanities and counters, updated tile and fixtures will really make a world of difference. Now, while not as expensive as the kitchen, bathrooms can still get pretty pricey depending on the size and, of course, your taste for the finer things. Adding a bathroom is one of the best things you can do to add value to your home, particularly if you have room for it in a basement, for example. Expanding a two-piece bathroom to a full bathroom if there's space can also pay big dividends. However, doing an addition to add bathroom space may be more costly than it's worth in terms of resale value. Now that said, if you're planning to stay in the home for a while and you're doing it for your enjoyment, well, then go ahead, but please make sure to take the appropriate permits. Now that goes for any renovations. Yes, permits are a hassle and they cost some money, but when it comes time to sell, you now have an obligation to disclose if you're aware of any lack of permits on the property. And the lack of permits will turn some buyers off. And it will likely cost you far more than the few $100s you saved on permit fees. Now, I often get asked if it pays to develop an unfinished basement prior to selling. Well, certainly, a finished basement does increase the saleability, as it will appeal to more buyers, but it really depends on the cost to finish it. And it is something to consider carefully. So, for example, does your basement just require some paint and carpets to be finished? Well, then it's probably worth having the work done. So you can now market the home as having a finished basement, and it will certainly have more appeal when buyers are viewing your home. However, if your basement is completely undeveloped, well, the cost of finishing it is likely to exceed the increase in your home's value, so it may not be wise to finish it. But there are no absolutes here. I mean, much of it depends on the type of home you have, the age, and the neighborhood. Do the majority of homes you'll be competing against have finished basements or unfinished basements? Also, are you skilled enough, or do you have friends who are, that you can complete the work relatively inexpensively, or do you have to hire professionals for everything? I mean, these are all factors you'll want to consider before going ahead if your primary focus is the return on investment. But again, if you're wanting to finish it because your family needs more space, well then go ahead. But again, don't go overboard and at least keep resale in the back of your mind. So, what about mechanical systems? Furnace, hot water tank? What about shingles and windows? Well, the current condition of these items are going to have a big impact on if you should replace them or not. So, as long as your mechanical systems are working properly, well, there's really no benefit to upgrading them. Sure, it is a factor buyers will consider when determining the value of your home, but there's really no money to be made here. For example, if your furnace is 30 years old, the buyer will likely factor that in, that they may need to replace the furnace soon at a cost of around $5,000. So they may discount the price by $5,000, but that's what you would have to spend on a new furnace anyway, so there's really nothing to gain here. Same with the shingles. If they really need to be done and they're so bad that they take away from the curb appeal of the home, well, it's probably time to do that. But if you've got a few years left and they look okay, I'd probably just leave them as is. Now, buyers love upgraded windows, but that doesn't mean I'd replace them if you're considering selling. You see, the cost of upgrading windows is high, and you're unlikely to recoup your investment. That's why buyers love upgraded windows, because they know they're getting them for pennies on the dollar. Landscaping is probably the lowest return on investment, apart from watering your lawn to make it healthy. That's cheap, but things like decks, fences, water features, and gazebos and so on, well, they just don't provide much of a payback, because in our climate, we don't get to enjoy them a whole bunch. Certainly they will add some appeal if you're selling in summer, when they can be appreciated. But what if you have to sell your home in the dead of winter? Most buyers don't even venture into the backyard in winter, so you're going to have a tough time getting much value, even if you do have good pictures of your yard. No one really appreciates your fireplace in summer, and no one appreciates your air conditioning in the dead of winter. Now, if you're planning on updating your home only for the purpose of helping it to sell, I recommend focusing on those things that will provide the greatest improvement for the lowest price. Things like painting, repairs, cleaning, and decluttering, and perhaps the flooring, depending on the condition of your current floor. Well, thanks again for tuning in today to my channel. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. As always, if you have any questions about anything in this video, or just about buying or selling a home in general, please don't hesitate to give me a call. Again, my name is Dwight Streu. My number is 780-462-5002, or you can email me at dwight@dwightstreu.com. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day.